have, again, all the things that we talked about, and we'll talk about more. You have a plan for backing up information from your mobile devices, from your laptops, your workstations, your servers, both at a file and an image level for a couple of those, so mostly for the servers when we talked about images. And then a way to recover both locally, file and folder, online file and folder, local image, and online image. That's a full solution. That's a BDR solution. So BDR typically has been referred to by a lot of hardware-based services where you have to buy a big staging server, and it's proprietary, costs a few $1,000 out the door. Then you're going to talk about the services you're going to put on it, and that's your BDR, quote unquote. But it still doesn't have all these other things. So what we're offering here is total business data protection. Again, coverage from your mobile to your servers. So again, the increase here is not only an increase in adoption of cloud-based backup services, but the increase in the scope of adoption. So we go over the product and what the SOS Online Backup product suite has. And I got a good question here that I'll read. So Frank says, I got remote clients, oil and gas. I would like to develop images centrally, do an image backup, and then recover to the remote site. Does this make sense in your model? Absolutely. So the way that it works, and we see here, let me pull up our browser. If you come to our main website, sosonlinebackup.com, and hit Server Save, you can see more specific information about how this is going to pan out. But I'm going to pull up our support site real quickly and go to our knowledge base section. In our knowledge base, we have kind of a little bit of a diagram of how all the services work together. This is more of the backup flow, but you can intuitively understand how recovery works in the same way. So you install, well, let me see this. There we go. You install our image creator agent on all the servers you'd like to run images from, and you define a staging machine. A staging machine can be any workstation that's just pumped up with some RAM and some hard drive space. Windows 7, 8 gigs of RAM, or whatever it is. You put all the images here, and then you utilize the staging server so it's not affecting your production to get those large files off-site. We have an online file and folder backup agent that you would install on workstations, laptops, or file servers if that's fine. And then you just back up directly from those production environments to the cloud because the resource use is relatively small. Then we have mobile applications that your users can have, and they can back up their information from their mobile devices over the mobile network. Of course, having Wi-Fi will help make it a lot faster, but you can do it over your 3G connection as well. And on top of that, we also have a cloud-based application. Right now, we have a Facebook app that lets you back up your Facebook information. It may not apply to your oil and gas companies, but more and more, almost every business you have out there, yours included, I'm sure, has some sort of social medium that you're utilizing for business purposes. Whether it's Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, you're utilizing those things. So how do you back up that information in the case that your service gets violated? I think there's 600,000 accounts that are hacked or violated every day on Facebook currently. So how do you go about protecting your user, your friend list, all those contacts you've made in those social mediums? Well, we now have and are the only ones that have a solution to do that. So Frank, I hope that answers your question. So back here we have our grid of applications. So in the right side speaks more to how we really changed our offering for the SMB market. So starting at about 11, 12 o'clock with the social backup. So again, Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, these types of things. Right now we have a Facebook account. We're in beta with a couple of the others. And we're going to have some terrific progression as we make generic cloud-based backup applications available to all of our partners. Then back up your desktop life, and that really at the 9 o'clock area also communicates down to the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock with the backup your file data. So our file and folder backup program has been the best in the business since 2006. We've been compared directly against everyone you can think of, some that aren't even around anymore, like HP Upline, Norton, Mozy, Carbonite, iDrive, Elephant Drive, Backup Blaze, all these things. So it's really being compared against everyone, and we still, even this last November, were awarded PCMag Editor's Choice for backup. Then mobile life. This is new. We have mobile applications for the Droid and the iPhone, and they allow you to back up information from your mobile devices to the cloud and also recover information from your mobile devices to the cloud, or reference it, so you can search for a file in your backup set and then share it via email. And again, this is a little taste of something similar to what storage services like Dropbox and Box.net let you do. But again, our primary focus is security, and that's been what's granted us all the awards and the praise over the years, is the enhanced usability and simplicity of use despite our high security procedures and protocols. So we're HIPAA compliant, SAS 70, SSE 16, EU Safe Harbor, SOX, all that. So our security is really bar none. Then you get into our new stuff. So when we have server save, now you can back up your application data and your system data. You can now create images of different volumes, put those volumes to a staging machine and get those off-site. It's really quite nice, and we're going to be improving that. So over the next couple quarters, we're actually going to have affordable cloud boot services for your SMBs. So again, before a lot of these types of services, doing image-based backup and getting it off-site, you're thinking immediately, well, that's $2,000 just for the hardware. What if you can offer this to your clients at $100 a month for a server, 200 gigs of off-site cloud space, and the ability to not only create images and get them off-site, but also have Exchange granular recovery available. $100 a month for that. And we'll get into more detail about the base offerings of our program. So again, what do you get when you come into the SOS Server Safe program? We really like to think of ourselves as giving you a 360-degree solution, and I'll open up our website again so you can see some more information about that. So we go back to our main site, and we go to SOS for resellers. Our 360-degree solution, and we have this little graphic here, and the infrastructure. So the infrastructure of our service, we have the largest footprint of data centers out of any backup solution out there today. So we have 10 globally located data centers, 5 are here in the States, 1 in Canada, 1 in the UK, 1 in Australia, and 1 in Chennai, or 1 in Kiev. So it's really one of the biggest footprints there. The backup is redundant across multiple data centers. For those of you who want to be country specific, you need to have your data backed up to the Canadian data center or the Australian or the UK, then that's available. You just let us know when you get into your project. The software client, of course, we have the software client that's been award-winning and lets you do all this. Billing. So rather than having to go through a deep e-commerce integration, we're going to give you this web package, which is completely unique in the market, and we'll go through a little bit of it in a minute. And instead of having to integrate our account management APIs into some sort of merchant system that you have, all you have to do is plug in your merchant system credentials, and you're ready to start billing for customers. Automated recurring billing. Marketing. We have our Partner Resource Center available for you, so you can go through and see example disaster recovery plans. We host live webinars to talk about different campaigns to go to, industry-specific strategies, and putting together formal managed service packages, and really try to talk out what you want to do there. Sales, of course, same thing. We host a live webinar every Wednesday to go through sales and marketing and the same type of thing. training. We have live training available every Tuesday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Pacific for our partners, and it goes through best practices in setting up and using the software as well as level 1 tech support. That way you and your staff can be ready when you're out there in the field. And then, of course, our technical support team is going to be there standing by, ready to assist you if you need it. So there's chat available 24/5. We have a ticketing system, and you can call in. So it's really what we like to think of as the 360-degree solution. So what you get as far as the products, again, Exchange backup and granular recovery. So you can, this is good for digital discovery purposes. You can search through your entire mail server for specific items, export that to a PST, or just drag and drop mail messages, which is pretty common, your day-to-day Exchange recovery needs. Or even if you just want to do a full migration of your Exchange server to new hardware, then you can do that, and it makes it very simple and easy to do. Bare Metal Image Creator. So Image Creator is what you install on the servers and lets you select the volumes that you want to create images of, and then you point those images, you point the destination to your staging machine. Your staging machine is where you're going to have ImageStream installed. ImageStream is designed specifically to get large files, so these images, and large file sets, so file servers with millions of files, to get those off-site in a way that's viable for your business, so that it doesn't take you down for months at a time, and so that you can actually get those images off-site. Pulse Centralized Management. Pulse is an agent-based program. You install it alongside the backup, and it provides event and backup session detail reporting, as well as allowing you to modify the backup set and schedule, all without providing a means to access or direct access of the files you're talking about. So a lot of our companies, and Frank, you probably are right here at this with oil and gas companies, it's the security behind these programs that really is still a very major concern. And security when it comes to remote management services as well. Some remote services violate some of their security protocols. Well, we've designed Pulse very specifically so it doesn't do that. So Pulse simply, the first layer is it prevents back on the application events that are happening in Windows. And then the second layer is more specific reporting on the actual backup session details. And we're going to scrape our logs and give you more information as far as, 1,000 files did not change today. 5 files did change and they backed up. 1 file did change, but it didn't back up. Backup happened with errors. Backup did not happen. Things of that nature. You have the online backup and recovery agent. This is where we put a lot of where our branding power really comes into play, because this is something that's going to be installed that the user will actually interact with. So rather than being managed and monitored by one of you or your staff, the online file and folder backup agent, we put a lot more effort into branding it, because this could be something where your user actually has access. So each one of your individual laptops or workstation users have their own backup account that they can access from their phone if they want with the mobile applications, so they can have a productive use of their backup data. Premier Web Integration. So this is the entire package that we were talking about. Typically what people will do is we would have a reseller portal that we would host on our domain that you log into for everything. What we've done here is, because our program is based around the white label aspect of it, is we're going to put this whole, almost the entire management console on your domain. So the easy part of signing up into a program is getting the service. The difficult part is setting up the service from the business perspective, where how are you going to contact your customers about it? Do you have some type of web presence for this new product? What's it saying? Do you have a way of collecting support tickets or billing for this service? How are you going to be managing this whole thing? You have to train your staff on the new vendor and the new vendor website to manipulate. Well, now all this becomes essentially a new product site. And within this site, you have a powerful HTML mailer, support ticketing system, billing integration with supports PayPal Pro, PayPal Standard, and Authorize.net. Everything that you would need to really get into the market. So we've now streamlined that whole thing. And this is something that no one else is offering. And really what we found was through our regular discourse with our partners, most of you will spend between $5,000 and $15,000 getting those types of things set up.